Are you looking for a family lawyer? Are you in the process of a divorce? Are you separated from your spouse? And you're looking to either go through counseling or go through a divorce? In this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 steps that you need to be aware of in choosing a family lawyer. Hi there, my name is Yomina Pobero. I'm a lighthouse and I'm a mind shaper. So let's get into it. I found that there are so many people who are, separated, they need counseling, they're going through tough times in their marriage. Some of you might even be on the verge of a divorce, and you're trying to get a lawyer to help you through the process, and you're not sure what to look out for. In my last video, remember I said that I was going to give us a checklist on what to look out for in choosing a family lawyer. So here it is. The first thing you need to be looking out for is the experience of the lawyer. How many years has he been in practice? How many cases has he or she handled? What type of cases has he handled? Has he just handled proper divorce cases, or has it just been a situation of child guardianship or child adoption? Or what are the different types of cases that they've handled under the family law? Is it in the customary courts? Is it in the high courts? Is it in the magistrate court? Because all of these courts have their different processes, and you want to be sure that whoever you're getting has either a particular knowledge of a particular court that you want to use, or is aware of the processes across board. You also want to know what their expertise is. There's some lawyers who their expertise might just be dealing with customary marriages or Islamic marriages. There might be other lawyers who, they know how to handle statutory marriage, customary marriages, Islamic marriages, marriages with, between Christians. They can do it all. And what's the advantage of one over the other? If you have a lawyer who understands the different types of processes, the different types of courts, and the different types of marriages that exist, and how, when you now want a divorce, what is the process involved? You know that their knowledge is broad. You know that they can give you information, across board. So expertise is also important. Another thing that is important is the approach. Now, this one is very dear to my heart because I'm not just a family lawyer, I'm also a counselor. And I strongly believe that, we can actually, when a couple decides that when there's nothing else we're going to do, we've tried counseling, it hasn't worked, we want a divorce. At that point, I also believe that the process doesn't have to be chaotic. It doesn't have to be with fights. It doesn't have to be with quarrels. It can be done in a calm, simple, everybody is, civil with each other. And a lot of times it depends on the lawyers. The lawyers are the ones who determine, whether it's going to be a feisty process or whether it's going to be a quote unquote friendly process, where everybody can be civil with each other. There are no abuses. So you want to know the approach of the lawyer. Because yes, things have gone wrong, things have not been okay between you and your spouse. And you decide that you want a divorce, but it doesn't mean that you have to fight. It doesn't mean that we have to be on negative terms. It's very possible to go through this process with, again, like I said, being friendly, but majorly being civil with each other. So approach is very important. I think that's one of the things that are very key to know in the lawyer that you're going to choose to work with. The other thing you want to find out is, what are the processes? What are the processes? What's going to be the first thing that's going to be filed? What are the papers to be filed? What are the documents to be filed? How soon is your case going to come up in court? What's the timeline? You need all of that information because you want to plan. You don't want, a situation where your lawyer just calls you tomorrow and says, oh, we're going to be in court. I mean, yeah, that can happen, sometimes, but at least you have a fair amount of information in terms of the time frame. So, for example, if your case comes up today and, your lawyer says, oh, if you give us an advance payment today, then we can file your cases tomorrow. And, once we file the documents tomorrow, in another 3, 4, 6 weeks, however long it will be, depending on the court in which this is being filed, we can expect that, the judge or the magistrate, your case will come up. Or it's going to take 2 months, or if we go to a court that is further out of the city, the process might take it. So you want to know all of these details. You want to find out from your lawyer, how long is it going to take? What is the time frame? What are the documents that need to be filed? What information does your lawyer need from you? Those are things that you want to find out. You don't want a situation where in the middle of the process, in the middle of the case, something unexpected now comes up and you're like, I never knew about this, and so it's important to be able to, your lawyer should be able to give you an estimate. Of course, it might not be exact because he's not the judge, he's not the magistrate. She may not know, the exact dates, but they can at least give you a time frame. And it's important to be able to, find that out. The other thing that I think is very important is communication. And when I say communication, remember in my last video when I talked about the lawyer and the client who were both in court, and the client had no clue who the lawyer was. Now, where there's communication between the client and the lawyer, such a thing cannot happen. Even if they've never met face to face, at some point they must have, at least, heard of each other's names and all of that. So communication is important at every stage. Now, I believe that, right from the beginning, there needs to be feedback given from the lawyer to the client, and also from the client to the lawyer. So, for example, if something new comes up, either with your kids or with your spouse, if any new information comes up that you think, you might not be sure, but you think may have a bearing on your case, I think it's very important to, let your lawyer know exactly what that information is. And likewise, the lawyer should also communicate, because sometimes the lawyers might get certain documents from the other side, from your spouse's lawyer, and it's important for them to be able to communicate that to you and let you know that, oh, this is this information that has come in. So communication at all points. If you think it's important, if you think it's not important, as long as it's something that comes up and you feel like, oh, this might have a bearing on my case, please always communicate. And this goes both ways. So you want to have a lawyer who will always communicate with you. The other important thing is for the lawyer that you're choosing to be able to give you possible outcomes. Possible being the operative word. Now, possible outcomes, because with their experience in handling family law cases, they can give you a possible outcome to say, based on these and these and these facts, it's possible that this will be the result. So you want that kind of information. At least that gives you an idea of what could be the possible end result of this journey. So you want that. And of course, that comes with experience. That comes with somebody who has handled enough cases or been around enough family law cases. And the final tip, on the checklist that I would say is the cost, the fees. You want to know ahead of time, how much is this going to cost me in the long run? And you want the lawyer who is going to give you a complete bill. You don't want a situation where, they say, okay, pay 250,000 naira now, let's start the process. Then in the middle of the case, he now says, we're going to need to pay another 5. No. Let them give you the complete bill from start to finish. Again, this comes with experience, because the more cases a lawyer has handled in terms of divorce, in terms of separation, in terms of child custody, child maintenance, welfare, whatever it is, adoption, the more cases they've handled, the more they are able to know exactly what the fees are at every stage, in terms of filing, court appearance fees, legal fees, all of those fees they are able to give you, and they should give you the whole bill, not a fraction of the bill, and then later on they come and tell you, so that you can plan yourself. You can also ask for a payment plan from your lawyers if they are open to that. But these are the things that I feel that are important for you to know before you decide to choose a lawyer. When you have all of this information in your arsenal, then it's easier for you to go through the process. Again, like I say, the process of divorce, the process of child custody, the process of welfare with your children, all of those things are an emotional process, and sometimes they can be really tough. So you want to be able to at least make the right decisions on those things that you can handle, one of them being choosing the right lawyer. I hope you learned one or two things from this video that I've shared. And there are many more videos like this, so please subscribe to this channel. It really means a lot to me. Like this video and share it with as many people as you can. For more information on what we do, all our social media handles will be on the screen right now, and they're also the links will also be in the description box. So please reach out to us. Again, we provide counseling services, we provide family law services, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. I honor you.